Welcome to the HR Empowerment Podcast, where we will uncover strategies and new insights from HR professionals who discuss up-to-date regulations, best practices, and the most pressing topics like diversity and equity, leadership, dealing with difficult situations, and much more that affect your bottom line and business. Thanks for joining us.
Hey everybody, Wendy Sellers here, the HR lady, here with my co-host JC, who's telling funny, not so funny jokes behind the scenes.
Oh, it's quite fine. Aloha, everybody. Welcome to the Friday episode.
Thank you. Hey, we're here with John Verico. Hey, John, and you still hanging in there?
I am, and he says aloha because I'm wearing an aloha shirt, right?
Hey, sometimes we just have to trick ourselves into believing that the sun is out and there's, you're not about to freeze all at where everybody is. JC's in New York, you're in Pennsylvania, I'm in Florida, but it is cold today. So I'm going to take that as winter in Florida. And we're not going to talk about it because I don't want to hear that I'm a wimp. Okay. But
that's all fair.
Okay, good.
I have to tell you, the Hawaiian shirts are a big deal. And here's why, right? Because when you see somebody wearing bright colors like that, it usually makes you smile.
It really does.
I've had so many, ever since I've always worn a lot of color, like either a bright tie or like jewel tone shirts and stuff. And I worked with scientists, engineers, and cops. Most of them wear white shirts and gray suits and that kind of thing. And so people have always noticed, that I provide a little bit of color, a little bit of light to the darkness, right? And so when COVID happened and we all started working from home, I changed my attire because really people only see me from from the waist up and less than that. And I started wearing Hawaiian shirts for all of my staff meeting. And now, and people would say, "Hey, your shirts make me smile." Bingo.
That's awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
Because we've created now a culture in that work environment where people can feel free to wear some color, to get out of their stodgy environment. And all of a sudden, they now feel more comfortable about working there and wanting to come to work for a place where they encourage Hawaiian shirts.
That's you don't mind me sharing real quick, Wendy, right? I got something here that's going to tie in. So I as part of the reason why on Fridays, I still carry on the whole aloha thing. I was working with a television station and network out in Hawaii for a while there, getting them set up. And not only was it my first experience of what Aloha Friday really is, but the leader that was in charge of that organization was just freaking spot on. She was amazing. So every time a Friday comes around, I don that Hawaiian shirt or I get in that vibe and I spread the aloha. I spread that love. I spread that cheer. And it instantly reminds me of that amazing leader at that organization. Man, she never had a problem of attracting talent because she was rock solid. People just wanted to be there in that presence. Yeah. And it truly was the embodiment of aloha at the same time.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I love that you just here talking about the fact that she didn't have problems attracting top talent. Effective leadership is a magnet for top talent. Now, there's a lot of moving parts, right? There's compensation, there's benefits, there's a location. Are you remote? Are you in person? Are you hybrid? There's a lot. It's not easy to just say, boing, do this, and people will flock to you. But in my experience, and I've been doing this for a very long time, people are going to do some basic research about the company. If they didn't already know about them, they get a job interview, they're going to do some research. If there's a negative article out there, they're already going to be thinking twice. If there's a million positive articles and reviews and, my friends work there and they're all saying it's an amazing company, then it's a, winner, chicken dinner, right, John?
Oh, absolutely. And the thing is, it's all about understanding how you're going to feel working there, right? When I left the military, I decided to stay in government. I decided to stay in government because I felt that I did not want to go out into the world and work for an organization strictly for the purpose of making the CEO richer. I felt that for me, for my intrinsic values, my internal values, and what motivates me is I wanted to have a purpose. And so I felt that working in government, I can actually have a purpose in life and to promote important information to people that might be life-saving or life-changing. That was for me. That's what worked for me. And so I look for those kinds of environments where I can do that and not be worried about, trying to make sales. But at the same time, I only looked for those environments where I felt like I could make a difference. And that's what people really want to do. They want to know that what they do matters. And when I looked at organizations, and I think other people do the same thing, they're not looking necessarily at how much money the company is making. Maybe they want to make sure it's at least, solid, right? It's solvent. It's going to survive. But they're looking at the culture and how people treat each other. And if you start looking at the stories that are published about an organization, or you look at their achievements, you'll notice if the achievements are from individuals or from teams, rather than the achievements of the CEO, you realize that what matters are the people.
And I absolutely love that analogy. Listen, folks that are listening today, start bragging about your employees' achievements. Now, some people are going to get embarrassed by it, so you may have to make a department base or just gloss by that really quickly. But we should be bragging about our people and what they've done, even when this is super important for startup companies or companies that are like, or people, I should say, that are like in the quality control department or something like that, because those departments often shut things down and then they are left feeling, okay, the team behind me and my team didn't succeed, but it's like, no, you shut it down for a reason because it wasn't safe for the consumer. So still bragging about the fact that we did the work and we did the right thing of shutting something down, and or we didn't shut something down, and we need to brag about it and let everybody know this was an employee or a set of employees that made the difference. It wasn't the CEO. CEO moved out of the way to make this happen.
Yep. And that's exactly it. The CEO rarely makes a difference on the day-to-day work, but he or she makes a difference on the culture of the organization and how people feel about working there and whether or not they want to continue to work there.
Yeah, 100% is so true. It is, it blows my mind that people think, by people, I mean the higher ups, think that, shouting at people, stressing them out, pressing them for deadlines, not asking them about, their sick child, within reasons. You want to make sure you're not breaking any laws there, that's going to motivate them. Oh, I'll give you more money. You'll be motivated by this. No, not really. I'll take your money. And then I'm going to check out with it. Oh, I want to hear the story. No names, please.
So real quick, I was doing a communication training for a group of frontline supervisors in a blue collar organization. And so these are a bunch of carpenters and plumbers and electricians and mechanics and those guys who worked for a government agency. And so I'm sitting there and I'm talking about the importance of communication and how it keeps people motivated. And this guy is sitting there with his arms crossed, leaning back in his chair, just staring me down. And finally, he opens his mouth and he says, "It's not my job to motivate my employees. We give them a paycheck for that." Oh, so I looked at him and I said, how much do you make an hour? Now, if I'm not mistaken, you are a master plumber. You are also a master electrician, and you're a triple threat. You're also certified as a master carpenter. Is that not right? He goes, "Yes." I said, "So how much do you make doing that work here?" And he told me it wasn't bad wage. And I said, "Now, let me ask you this. On the outside, if you were not working for a government agency, how much would you be making with those level of skills?" "Oh, I could make 10 times as much." "Okay, great. And how long have you been working here?" 35 years. So you're working here 35 years and you could make much more money doing the same work outside.
But you haven't left.
So why did you stay here 35 years? "I like the people I'm working with. I like the organization. I like the environment." I said, "Great. So you're not motivated by your paycheck." "Well, no." I said, "Then why are you assuming that other people are motivated by their paycheck?" there's more than just a paycheck that keeps people and that brings people into the organization in the first place.
I feel like we just won a boxing match and I need to ring the bell or something, you know? It's so true. And the leader, whatever that leader is, I'm not a big fan of the word leader, just because everyone could be a leader. You don't need to be a manager. You don't need to be a business owner. You don't need to be an executive to be a leader. Everyone can be a leader. But there was a survey.
But there's also a lot of people in leadership positions that are not leaders.
Oh, yeah. It drives me bonkers when I see org charts that say, oh, this is the leadership level. And I'm like, you don't get it. In one ear out the other, you're not getting it all. There's actually a survey out by Quantum Workplace, and it revealed that 82% of employees consider a strong leader, not a title, but a strong leader to be a key factor in their job satisfaction. And John, I know that you work on these topics every single day as a motivational leadership coach, team building, personal growth. You're a speaker, you're a trainer with Share Your Fire. How can people reach you after today to get more information and to make sure that they're sharing their fire with their employees?
Hey, really easy. I am not hiding out there. Okay. It is the best place to find me is my website, which is www.johnverico.com. It's just my first name, last name.com. I'm also out there on pretty much most of the social media channels. Look up John Verico. John Verico Speaks on Facebook. Jay Verico on Twitter. Well, now it's, what is it now? X?
Some symbol.
Whatever. Let's not even talk about leadership there at all.
Well, and the one other thing I wanted to say, I don't want to publish your cell phone number, but it is all over your website. And the last 4 digits are NERD, nerd. I was like, I have to talk to this guy. 240-257
nerd. You got it.
That is amazing. Hey, thank you so much for your time today. This has been great information. I'll make sure that your website's in the podcast post as well. And everybody else that's listening, if you're looking for a quick and enlightening way to start your day, consider checking out JC's daily podcast, Interesting Things with JC. I also have another podcast myself called The HR Lady. We hope this information has been helpful. Thanks for joining us. Take care.
Thank you for joining the HR Empowerment Podcast, brought to you by Aurora Training Advantage. We hope you've gained new insight and strategies to navigate the HR profession. We look forward to you joining us again on the HR Empowerment Podcast.